think we all know the feeling. We have too many ideas. When you're working on a comic, then suddenly other story ideas keep popping up in your head. I'm not sure if it's the same for you. It definitely is for me. Now, what do we do with all these ideas? Well, I can tell you right now, there's a way to keep nurturing those new ideas without necessarily taking massive action on them. So this video is about how to not get distracted by other comic ideas. Welcome back to Pencils and Stories. My name is Henrike and I make and teach comics. If you want to make your own comics as well, then subscribe to this YouTube channel for weekly videos. You also might want to check the link in the description because I am working on a new course that is all about starting your own comic. If you're unsure of what to do and what kind of stuff you need to prepare in order for you to start making comic pages, then I definitely recommend checking out my new course when it launches on Kickstarter. Without further ado, let's dive into the video. If you have not yet started your comic and you have many ideas to choose from, don't go with every first comic idea that pops into your head. Make sure, especially when it is a longer comic, that it is something that you really want to make. I mentioned the importance of why you are making your current comic. You can watch that video right here. But it's a good idea when you don't have any ideas yet to look at those ideas and think about why you want to specifically do those, and then which one makes you the most enthusiastic when it comes to the goal that you would want to achieve with that specific idea and making a comic out of that. That actually bleeds into my second tip for you, which is don't go with every single first comic idea that pops into your head. And a way to let those ideas simmer a bit and see if after a while you still like them. Sometimes you need to shelve an idea in order to come back to it later and see if it still gets you excited. Because I often find that a lot of my ideas sound really exciting to me like the first time I have the idea, but then later, like after a week or something, the idea is actually not that exciting to me anymore. And then there's ideas that always keep popping up. You know, those ones. Those are the ideas that you have the best chances with of actually making a project out of that that gets you really excited and that you actually want to make. But that doesn't mean that you have to do nothing with all of the ideas that you have popping into your head, because let's face it, sometimes they're pesky and they don't want to leave you alone. And I think that's a really nice idea to have like an idea backlog by having a notebook. Or maybe you do it digitally. Maybe you have a program like Evernote that lets you like save text files basically. Just make some notes in your phone. And that has a few benefits. First of all, you can kind of get them out of your brain and into that place where you lock them. And then your brain can forget about it. And that's really, really relaxing. You don't have to think about, I had a good idea. Like, what was it again? And have to think about it again. No, you just write down everything related to the idea, all the sub ideas that go with it and that you have. Just make a few bullet points, make a small outline of it, and then put it away. And you can come back to it later if you want to. Also, it kind of trains your idea muscle. I think it's really healthy for your brain to have ideas and not having to push them away because you cannot think about them right now. You can just let them freely come up and, take them seriously. And I think that's really helpful. And another benefit is that if you're doing some side project, like maybe you just want to do some drawing or have like an illustration on the side that you're working on, you have a list of ideas that you can pull from. And whenever you are without inspiration and you're sitting down, you could just browse through your idea log and then you can pick ideas from there. And if you are a person that sometimes needs a change of scenery and needs to work on something else every once in a while, first of all, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to do a giant comic that takes you years and years to finish. If you're a person who wants to bring out a lot of stories into the world, then short comics might actually be a good place for you to go. I actually made a video about the benefits of short comics that I will link to here. But if you're the kind of person who just every once in a while needs to work on something else, then I suggest actually freeing up maybe once a month, just free up an evening or maybe for 1 hour every week to work on something else. And that could even be just sketching all kinds of stuff from your idea log. You don't have to even pick one idea from that idea log, but just go and work on your ideas. Just expand on them, add fun little characters and stuff. There's a danger, obviously, and that's that you get really excited about that project. So really carve out that time and keep it that time, because you really don't want to work on too many things at once. I don't recommend it. Maybe do a few illustrations over the course of the year just for some other idea in there. I don't know, you can come up with all of that stuff. That is something that I recommend if you feel like your ideas don't really let you go. Like sometimes it's just fun to take an evening and make a Pinterest board for it, you know? You know what I mean? You definitely don't have to ignore all your ideas at any cost, you know? That's just stifling your creativity. But log them. Sometimes you can just, you know, browse back and just delete. Just stripe off one of the ideas because it's just not fun anymore, and that's also part of like the creative process. You know, you don't have to go with everything that you think about. Connect ideas together. It's also a really fun thing to do. As a conclusion, there is one story, one comic that you're working on right now. Make it clear why you are working on it. Pick the most important one, the one that gets you the most excited. Also log the other stuff. If that's something that keeps popping up and keeps bugging you, like write them down so your brain can forget about them and let them take a back seat, and then let them simmer a bit and then edit them later, or even expand a little on them. But make sure you know what your focus is, like your one project that you're working on right now and want to bring to the finish line before you start working on something else. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Like, do you have many ideas? Are you a person of many ideas, or have you trouble with coming up with ideas? It might be fun to do a little brainstorm session every once in a while to kind of train that muscle. I definitely think getting ideas is something that can be trained as well. But leave a comment. What do you do with your ideas? Again, as mentioned, in the description is a link to the notification list for my upcoming course, How to Start a Comic. If you want to make your own comics, then I definitely think this course is going to be super helpful to you. That was it for this week. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was valuable, please leave it a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like these, and also YouTube knows that people like it and will recommend the video to other people. So it really, really helps. Thank you all so much for your likes and for your comments. And for watching. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day, and go and make some comics.